And it's 7 o'clock, so we'll start, friends. And if you haven't been on gallery but want to go on gallery, feel free to do that and just let yourself enjoy for a moment being the group gathering, the community gathering. It's lovely to be here with everybody. And you know, Michael's new tonight, but you know what? He brought in Jim Sati. He knows Jim Sati, and brought him into our circle tonight. So I want to invite everyone to bring an ancestor if you have one that you wish to bring into the circle tonight. This could be a blood ancestor, a spirit ancestor, or an ancestor, a land ancestor. And Leanne's ancestor friend, animal friend, just popped in. So invite your ancestors in here just to be in your heart. And the way we do that is we just think of them. That's all. And then they're here. And they're here to support us. And so it's interesting that Michael brought the ancestors in tonight, because the talk I want to offer tonight is, we want to have the ancestors with us because the talk tonight is about belonging. And just my sense is that we all, like when we think of the ancestors, that's a way of belonging, isn't it? And we might not have one of all of those three ancestors, but my guess is that everyone here will have a land ancestor, a place in nature where you feel connected. Is everyone back on speaker view or on speaker view now? All right, great. Because I like to have a little way of being a little connected. I want to just ask you to show me. And then that way you don't have to, if you're on speaker view, you don't have to feel self-conscious that everyone's going to see you. So just let me know, show me your hands. Who has an ancestor, a blood ancestor, spirit ancestor that is a teacher or someone inspires you, or a land ancestor that you can bring in tonight? And just keep your hand up for a moment. And I'm just going to zoom over to the next page. And you know, some people, you know, this isn't always something we have, but feel into a place in nature. If this is tricky for you, one way to do it that I find is helpful is to feel in, thank you everybody, is to just feel into a place in nature that you like to be. Could be the river in Saskatoon. It could be a lake that you know of that you haven't been to for a long time, but you have a memory. Could be the mountains, could be the prairie. Just let yourself remember being there. And just I'm just going to ask a few people if they can offer me if you can find just one word to describe how it is you feel when you call up this place in nature. And then I often do this, but you know, we cannot do this too many times. We could do this every Wednesday. So offer, if 2 or 3 or 4 people could put a word in the chat box. And I'm going to, these are to me privately, so but I may share them if it feels appropriate to share. So I am going to share some of these. So I'll just give folks just a second or two to whoever would like to add. Okay. Okay. So friends, I am going to read these. And I'm going to read them as a way of honoring the ancestors and as a way of recognizing how we feel when we connect in this way. So we have here a cradling, nourished, connected, peaceful, joyful relations, in awe, feeling of being held, peaceful and connected and rooted. In relation, that was the clarification there. And so, friends, just tuning into this memory of nature and these ways we can feel connected, rooted, grounded, we could say that this is a practice of connection, a practice of belonging. And we can just turn to it, and this sense of connection, in relation, peacefulness, groundedness, rootedness. This is a practice of belonging that we can turn to internally. I often think about belonging as external. I belong to our meditation group. I belong in my neighborhood, with my circle of friends, with family. And I have often struggled, as I know many people do, with feelings of not belonging, feelings of loneliness, of being separate. And I think especially in COVID times, this can be true. And so what I'm really wanting to offer tonight are ways of belonging that come in from an internal turning. Ways that we can connect here now. And I have been reading a book called You Belong by Sebene, Selassie. It's a beautiful book. And she says, belonging begins in the body. So I'm going to offer meditation tonight. It's metta night, which means kindness night. So I'm going to offer a meditation tonight that's beginning with the body, which is where, according to Sebene, belonging begins. And then extend to loving kindness, or the kindness practice, which is another way of feeling connected to a wider circle, but still through an internal turning. So friends, finding a comfortable way to sit. Settling into a sense of the body sitting. This sense of groundedness, where belonging begins. Taking a few breaths and relaxing and inviting ease. Just allowing the breath to be natural, easeful. Just feeling the floor, the chair, the support. Just tuning in to this body and how it helps us to know that we are here, now, connected, present. Belonging to this moment. Belonging to this body. Just acknowledging that this being, this body, has been with you since you arrived here on this planet. This is your home. your earth body within the larger earth body. Just resting your attention in the sensations of this body. Feeling the breath coming in and out of the body. Just noticing this breathing process, this process of aliveness, which is your belonging in every moment. As you feel each inhale, each exhale, knowing that you belong in each breath, in each moment. Allowing the breath to just settle the mind. Be a place to rest your attention. And just experience resting into this moment. Being a part of this moment. Not separate from this moment. Being present here, now. And recognizing that thoughts happen, they're not a mistake or a problem. They are simply a part of this process. We can rest our awareness, settle it back into the breath and the body. And as we're settling here in this moment, we can offer ourselves kindness and care. Right here in our belonging in this moment. May there be ease here in the body, in the heart, in this moment. May there be kindness. May there be softness. May there be steadiness in this body. Just for a few moments, offering yourself a gentle wish for ease or softness or kindness. Whatever it is that would feel kind in this moment to offer yourself. You can whisper a word or offer yourself a gentle touch. connecting with kindness in this moment. And feeling the breath, recognizing that this breath, this air moves in and out. Connecting us to all living beings all around the planet. All human beings and plants and animals. Recognizing that this breath is an experience of belonging. And sensing all of the community here tonight, breathing together in this experience of belonging together. We can offer a wish for the group here tonight. May we all be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May we all rest in ease. May we all rest in kindness. May we all rest and be held in gentleness and softness. And letting your awareness expand to a larger circle of people and animals all across the city that you're in or the country that you're in. And sensing all across the urban scape or the landscape. And imagining people and beings that you know, places that you know, places and beings that you care about. And sensing the shared breath with all of these beings. This shared experience of belonging. In this aliveness. And we can offer a wish for all of these beings. May all of these beings that we're thinking of, holding in our hearts right now, beings that we know and may care about, may all of these beings be held in kindness. May they know softness and gentleness. May all of these beings live with ease. And just as these beings come into your mind and heart, just offer them one word or one wish. That whichever beings come to your mind and heart come in, just bless them with a word, a wish. And then sensing beings all across the area that you're in, as far as it feels right, all beings that you don't know. Beings who may be happy right now, beings who may be suffering. Human beings, animals, plants, the planet itself. Whichever beings come to your mind, offering them a wish, a blessing. May all of these beings be held in kindness. Sensing our universal connection, our universal wish for kindness and ease and peace. A sense of connection through our heart to all of these beings. May all of these beings rest in gentleness. May they rest in softness. May they feel a belonging in their heart. May all of these beings live with ease. And just continuing for a few moments to offer a wish to whichever beings come into your mind and heart. And then letting our awareness expand out even more to include all beings everywhere. All beings reaching all around the planet and out from the planet up into the galaxy. All beings everywhere, seen and unseen. Reaching and touching and bringing in all of the ancestors. All animal beings. May all beings everywhere, with whom we are inseparably connected. May all beings in this vast web be held in kindness. Be held in softness. Be held in ease. May all beings everywhere live with peace. And just letting for a short while, letting whichever beings continue to come to your mind and heart. This could be human beings, that you know or that you don't know, animals, plants, places. You can expand your vision all around the planet and include the planet as well. Whoever, whichever beings come into your mind, just bless them with a word or a phrase from the ones I've offered or one of your own. Just letting the words ripple inside you as you say them. And sensing the word inside yourself as you send it out. Kindness in our own hearts, kindness for all beings, kindness in and kindness out, no separation. And sensing now into your body and breath, receiving the sensations of your body with softness, gentleness, friendliness. And belonging to the sensations of this moment. This body that helps us know we're here, now, connected. This place where belonging begins. And in a moment, I'll ring the bell. And when I do, let yourself stay connected to this body that can connect you into this moment, be a place of grounding and belonging here, now. Thank you, everybody, for your practice. And hello to the folks who just joined us over the meditation time. So great to see you all. And so, friends, I came to this theme tonight because I was reading, as I said, that book of Sebene's You Belong, and a quote really struck me, really stood out for me. And the quote was, "We belong to any moment simply by accepting it." It goes on, but that just stood out to me, like, you belong to any moment simply by accepting it. You know, then we're connected and we belong. And she goes on to say, we belong, she goes on then to talk about joy. And she says, joy is accepting each moment for what it is without contention. And what spoke to me so much about this was that it was just so much our practice framed as a belonging practice. Our practice of meditation, of mindfulness, which is to be with what's here with open curiosity, allowing it with the intention then of responding wisely. But what she's saying is just this sense of being here in this moment with our mindfulness, with open curiosity, is a belonging practice. And that when we do that, there can be joy. So how does this feel to you? For me, it was like a lightning bolt. Like, wow, there's like, I think at that moment, actually, I was thinking about belonging as an outside job. And of course it is. You know, and there are ways that we need to belong and we can cultivate belonging outside, but suddenly outside ourselves, in our communities, but just suddenly I thought, whoa, I thought, wow, belonging is an inside job also. And it gave me empowerment. It's like something I can do, something we can do, and that we are already doing. And sometimes we just need to frame our practice in a certain way, and then it enlivens that particular quality of it. And so it was exciting for me because it's our practice, because it's an inside job, and because it's doable. And I recognize that when I connect in this moment, when I connect through our practice, now I'm starting to realize I do feel a connection, and there's a little sense of belonging there. So I really want to invite us all to take this on as a practice. And just feel right now, how does it feel to be connected? How did it feel to be connected during the meditation if that was connecting for you? Just right now, how does it feel even for a split second to be connected in the body? This place that helps us to come home here and now. What's it like even just for a split second to sense into the body now? I'm going to read another quote from Sebene. She's saying, let's see now. She's saying belonging manifests as the capacity to meet life with a sense of clarity and ease, to see what's occurring and to greet it without contention. The times in my life, she says, when I feel a genuine sense of belonging, I'm open to whatever's happening. When we belong, we meet things with the curiosity to see how they really are. That just is so simple. I don't have to go out and create a big community, although I want one and we've got one, but I don't have to go out and do something. Belonging's right here. Here's another quote from her. She's talking about mindfulness, mindfulness, our practice. And she says that the word in Pali is sati. And it's translated often as mindfulness, and sometimes it's translated as remembering. There's a quality of remembering to be mindful, and then we're mindful. So remembering is kind of part of that. And so Sebene says this: remembering is my favorite translation of mindfulness. To me, it implies the memory of our true nature, which is interconnected. It also connotes reconnecting the various physical parts of ourselves, remembering. And it most poetically describes this process of embodied awareness. We remember belonging exists right here in the body in this moment. We put ourselves back together again. We remember our belonging. Isn't that beautiful? We put ourselves back together again. Like when we're all scattered, you know that feeling, right? How many people know that feeling of being scattered? Yeah, like we're scattered, we're all over the place. We put ourselves back together again. And then she finishes the quote by saying this: this is not a doing, but an undoing. And this I love. She says, we may think we learn to belong, but she says, in fact, we unlearn not belonging. Isn't that a nice twist? We unlearn not belonging. So I think that there are two ways we can do this. Unlearning of not belonging. One way is just to notice, every time we intentionally notice belonging in the body, belonging to this moment, the sense we have when we connect with nature, the sense we have when we connect with the ancestors, the sense we might have when we connect with loving kindness, all of which we've already practiced tonight. Maybe there was a sense in there somewhere. We can intentionally notice, oh, I'm here in the moment. It's not a big deal. It's not fireworks. It's not like, you know, a big event. It's just like, I'm here now. And when we notice that intentionally, that grows the sense of belonging. So we're changing the habit of not noticing our belonging. So we're unlearning our not belonging by simply noticing the belonging in this body, in this moment. And I think we've got more of those than we know. And so then I want to share the screen with you and share with you. Oh, can I do that, Andrea? Yes. I want to share with you calligraphy by Thich Nhat Hanh. This just inspires me. You know, I have arrived. I am home. I have this on my wall, and it's going to have new meaning now. You could put it on your wall too. I have arrived. I am home. And then the rest of this quote is, I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. We can begin to practice this just in simple ways. And Thich Nhat Hanh says this. He says, sometimes we believe that happiness is not possible in the here and the now. We need a few more conditions to be happy. So we run towards the future to get the conditions we think are missing. But by doing so, we sacrifice the present moment. We sacrifice true life. Therefore, learning how to go home to the present moment is the basic practice of mindfulness. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. So the second way I think that we practice this belonging, or practice unlearning not belonging, the habit of not belonging, the habit of the mind of not belonging, is by noticing This is something else that Sebene says. We begin, every time we notice the thought patterns that perpetuate or intensify feelings of not belonging, every time we notice those, and every time we encourage those that emphasize our interconnection in every moment. So this is more of an intentional noticing, intentional abandoning of those thoughts that intensify feelings of not belonging, and emphasizing or cultivating or noticing those thoughts or experiences that we feel a connection in. And so this is actually, we've been studying something called the fourth foundation of mindfulness in this group. And this is the nutshell of the fourth foundation of mindfulness. This is the kind of active quality of our mindfulness to notice when the thought patterns are leading us in a direction we don't want to go. Are they leading us towards not belonging? Are they leading us towards belonging? And as we begin to simply put the radar out for these patterns, we'll begin to notice them and be able to choose differently. I remember one, this was years ago, but it was really clear to me. It was after my dad had died, and I was in a month-long intensive course, facilitation course, and Dad died right in the middle of it. And I went back to the course after a few days, and somehow in my mind, I didn't think it was important to call the course people and say, I'm coming back. In my mind, there was this pattern of, I'm not important enough. I don't matter. Well, that was a pattern of not belonging. And so I learned from that I can choose to belong in some ways. I can choose to say, I'm going to call those people and tell them, let them know I'm coming back. And they said to me the next day that they wished I had done that. I didn't. But we just begin to be able to notice the patterns in our mind that lead to, oh, someone put in the chat, my habits of exile. That's lovely. My habits of exile. And we can begin to notice and cultivate habits of connection and habits of belonging. So I'm going to offer some other practices of belonging. We already started our time together here with a practice of belonging to nature. We called up a land ancestor, and the medicine of that land ancestor spoke to a lot of our hearts. When we turn to the land ancestors in this way, to the land in this way, the land just welcomes us into the circle of belonging. And I love what Robin Wall Kimmerer says about this. She says that when we're disconnected from nature, and this is a disconnection from nature that has occurred in European cultures for many generations, maybe since the time of Descartes, when nature became a machine in the European context. And philosophers have called this state of disconnection that Western, like European folks with a European cultural heritage can feel. There's a name for this disconnection. She says, philosophers call this state of isolation and disconnection species loneliness. A deep, unnamed sadness stemming from estrangement from the rest of creation, from the loss of relationship. As our human dominance of the world has grown, we have become more isolated, more lonely, when we can no longer call out to our neighbors. These are our neighbors, the trees, our neighbors, the land, our neighbor, the water, our neighbor, the air. It's no wonder that naming was the first job that the Creator gave to Nanabozo. the first job of naming, that is, introducing themselves to their neighbors. And here's what Robin says about our practice, our mindfulness practice, as a way of connecting into this circle of belonging that we're a part of. We are inextricably a part of it, but we forget. So she says this, she says, paying attention itself, simply paying attention, is a form of reciprocity and connection with the living world. Receiving the gifts with open eyes and open heart. And so just paying attention the way we've already done tonight is a way of establishing reciprocity, connect, and remembering our connection and our belonging in this world. Robin Wall Kimmerer is a scientist and a member of the Anishinaabe Nation. So nature is a huge belonging practice that we all know. We all know it. We all know that practice, and so that's one practice that we can tune into, belong. Oh, and here's something that Sebene says as well. Okay, here's another practice actually. Well, no, I'll say this quote first. She says, we feel like we belong nowhere because we have forgotten we belong everywhere. Practice helps you remember how to feel belonging. And so the nature practice is one of these practices, and we've touched on a lot of other ones tonight. And it can be very, 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 very subtle. So here's another connecting belonging practice, and I invite us into just to try it out. And that is just to belong to our environment here. So we may so I just invite you to take a look around. Just to look ahead of you, past the computer, and see what's there. Just check out the space. Check out the furniture. Just notice the walls, any doors or windows. Just say hello. Just no big deal. We're just letting our animal body know our environment. And then now take a look in one direction to your right or left, and just sense over here the space, the furniture, the walls, any doors or windows. We're just letting our animal body be situated in the space, coming home, and then looking in the other direction to the other side. We're just noticing, that's all. The space, the walls, any doors or windows. We're letting our being connect here. And then take a look behind you over one shoulder, see what's there, notice any doors or windows and furniture, and then the other shoulder, take a look over there, so that you're really orienting all the way around. And then coming back and just settling again into your body and just sensing, we're not looking for a big deal, but just notice, is there anything, did that have any ripple, any small ripple? So just sense into your breath and body sitting now. Now take a look around the space, and you're in this space now in a different way. How does that feel? We can often be in our space without noticing our space. So this is a way of coming into the space, connecting with the space. And so just offer a couple of more ways of connecting, of belonging. We can belong through gratitude. Think of something you're grateful for. What happens in the heart? There's a connection, isn't there? What happens in the heart? There are 3 or 4 people that could give me a word about what happens when you sense into something you're grateful for. Just a word about what happens in your being. got a sense of warmth, expansion, a sense of lightness. These are flavors of belonging. These are flavors of belonging. Happiness, joy, loving weightlessness, a lightness. Friends, these are flavors of belonging. We can also touch in through kindness and compassion. And if compassion can especially connect us to ourselves or others when there's suffering, when there's the kind heart wants to reach out if someone's suffering, and there can be a connection in that. And this can be closely linked to service. I see a couple nods as I say that word. What happens to your sense of separation when you are in service with someone, to something? I remember one time I was baking for the bake sale in an organization I worked with, and I was just so happy. We were selling stuff, and it was like it was all for good. Like, there can be a sense of loss of your separateness, yeah, when we are in service. And so, friends, there are so many ways to be connected and to practice belonging. I am kind of amazed. We've practiced loving kindness tonight, connecting through the heart. We've practiced coming home to the body. We've talked about nature and gratitude, kindness and compassion and service, and the fundamental practice of mindfulness as a way to come home. So I want to share with you, just in closing, another screen, which is an image in the Buddhist practice called Indra's net. This is an image from the One Earth Sangha. They have this image on their website, and this is this is an image, an idea of what Indra's net might look like. This is a Buddhist understanding of all of our interconnection with everything in the universe. And I'm sure someone who is very scientifically based could explain this in scientific terms now, with all of the ways that science understands the universe. But this is the Buddhist understanding of it. It's called Indra's net, and that there are all these points of connection. We are all individual points of connection, and everything, everyone else, every other being in the universe is a point of connection. And the entire universe is reflected in every point of connection. This is a beautiful image, but I haven't always known how to really feel it. And so I think that we're starting to cultivate some practices for tuning in to this sense of universal belonging. So friends, let's let the words settle for a few moments. Can dedicate the merit of the practice that we've done together here tonight to all beings, to whom we are inseparably connected. May the practice that we've done tonight together, in community, in belonging, ripple out and be a cause and condition for the liberation and ease and peace of all beings everywhere. May our wishes and our practice ripple out through Indra's net in all directions to all hearts. Thank you so much for your practice and your presence.